All right.
James Gunn and Peter Safran's partnership as co-CEOs of DC Studios has been going strong, with one solid addition after another to DCU's Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. One of the biggest shows in this new chapter is Lanterns, and as the name suggests, the show is about Green Lanterns, the intergalactic peacekeepers who are granted superpowers by wearing green rings. Despite involving superheroes, Lanterns doesn't sound like your typical superhero show. It's a detective show, grounded on Earth, as it takes its cues from shows like Slow Horses and True Detective. The show is being helmed by showrunner Chris Mundy, who produced series like True Detective and Ozark, and co-created the show with Damon Lindelof, whose credits include shows like Lost, The Leftovers, and Watchmen, as well as Tom King, who's a former CIA officer who's written for Marvel Comics like The Vision and DC Comics like Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and Mr. Miracle. Safe to say, this show is in the hands of people who understand crime shows and superheroes, which is why we're so excited about Lanterns. Currently slated to premiere in August 2026 on HBO and HBO Max, with current listings pointing to August 16th, the grounded part of the show is what we're the most excited for. So let me tell you about all the characters you can expect in the show, and as a bonus, a couple of mysterious roles, as well as a fan theory or two. It's going to be a good one, so let's get into it.
I don't understand. Who are you exactly?
Hal Jordan, Green Lantern.
Hal Jordan. You can't have Green Lantern without the most iconic Green Lantern there is. Enter Hal Jordan, who first appeared in Showcase number 22 in 1959 and was created by John Broome and Gil Kane. Hal Jordan is described in the show as a former test pilot and a legendary Green Lantern Corps member who's approaching retirement while training John Stewart to replace him. Based on the trailer, it seems Jordan will be mentoring the new Green Lantern recruit from Earth. He's gruff, jaded, weathered, and basically all the things you get with time and experience. Jordan's not going to be a gentle, understanding mentor who's holding your hand through the process. No, his process will be much more brutal. We get a peek into his teaching method as he speeds his car towards a cliff while John is in the passenger seat, then leaves the ring on the dashboard and jumps out, leaving John to figure things out on his own as quickly as possible, or die. Tough love has never been tougher. Jordan has clearly seen things that have made him cynical, and he'll stop at nothing to get to truth and justice, as is evident from him beating up a guy in the interrogation room. We also see a Green Lantern uniform, vastly different from the one we saw in 2011, and honestly not very green in the least, hanging in Jordan's closet. Why did he hang it up? Will there be a need for him to wear it again? Only Lanterns will tell. A lot of people were considered for the role of Hal, including Timothy Olyphant, Matthew McConaughey, Ewan McGregor, and Chris Pine. Josh Brolin was even offered the role, but he turned it down. Finally, Kyle Chandler was cast as Hal Jordan. Chris Mundy revealed that they cast Chandler because of his dry wit, which was an important factor of Jordan's personality.
I could have died.
You want me to train you? I'm training you.
John Stewart. John Stewart is the eager rookie being trained by Hal Jordan in the show. He can't wait to wear the ring and is getting a bit tired of Jordan's training and waiting. It's only been a few months, but that explanation doesn't stop Stewart from getting antsy. In one shot from the trailer, we do see Stewart carrying the legendary lantern, so he might get his superpowers after all. Based on the teaser and the way the show is framing him as the new recruit, John Stewart appears to be the emotional entry point into the story. Mundy described him as a Marine and an architect with an artistic side. The two are probably going to butt heads when it comes to the investigation, with Stewart's intuitive style and fly-by-the-seat-of-his-pants attitude possibly not working well with Jordan's experience. The character of John Stewart was originally created by Dennis O'Neil and Neil Adams and first appeared in Green Lantern number 87. In many of the comics, the age gap between Stewart and Jordan is not that pronounced, with Stewart being chosen as Jordan's backup. That said, for many viewers, John Stewart is the Green Lantern, thanks to the Justice League animated series and its follow-up, Justice League Unlimited. Aaron Pierre has even said that Justice League Unlimited was one of his first introductions to John Stewart. Pierre won the role over O'Shea Jackson Jr., Stephen James, Damson Idris, Aaron Moten, and Kelvin Harrison Jr. Director James Hawes credits that to Pierre's magnificent presence that feels forceful and cool while understated, and Mundy believed Pierre was perfect to portray the artistic side as well as the disciplined Marine side of John Stewart. Guy Gardner. Loudmouthed, brash, and abrasive, Guy Gardner already entered the DC universe with 2025's Superman. During the late 2000s and early 2010s, when Green Lantern had huge comic book visibility thanks to major storylines and multimedia pushes, Nathan Fillion was the fan cast to play Hal Jordan. He didn't get that role, but he did voice Green Lantern multiple times in animated movies like Justice League, The Flashpoint Paradox, Justice League Doom, and Green Lantern Emerald Knights. Finally, in 2025, he played a live-action Green Lantern as Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner is honestly one of my favorite comic book characters, and I could say a lot of stuff about him, but who better to hear it from than Nathan Fillion himself? According to Fillion, Guy Gardner is a jerk and the last Green Lantern you want. You don't necessarily have to be good to be a Green Lantern, you only have to be fearless, and Gardner is as fearless as they come. He's a typical overconfident egotist who thinks he can defeat Superman in a fight, but definitely can't. In fact, one of my favorite comic book moments is when he gets one-punched by Batman. Fillion added that Gardner will be a bit more high-strung in the series than he was in Superman, so expect a bit more seriousness from the character. Guy Gardner first appeared in Green Lantern number 59 back in March 1968 and was created by Gil Kane and John Broome. Fillion has said that he pushed for the bowl cut because fans would not accept Guy Gardner without it, so you know who to thank if you liked Gardner's signature look. Gardner's role in the series isn't clear yet since he doesn't appear in the trailer, but we're willing to bet he's going to be a jerk when he shows up. Carrie the Sheriff. A major presence in the trailer was that of Carrie the Sheriff, played by Kelly MacDonald, who you might recognize from her roles in Trainspotting and No Country for Old Men. The sheriff is a no-nonsense woman who's devoted to her close-knit town and will stop at nothing to ensure the safety of her kith and kin. Sheriff Carrie gives us a human viewpoint on what's going on. She has no reason to trust random people strolling into town, offering to solve their mystery, especially as they're bound to become obstacles in her path. Though it's not clear from the trailer, some fans are already speculating that Carrie could become personally important to Hal, but that remains unconfirmed. We envision a rivals to allies arc as both of them have the same goal, to save the town from whatever threat looms. That's all we've got on her though, as she's an original character created for the show and has no comic book history for us to dive into. William Macon. Every mystery town needs someone who feels dangerous, and in the town that our Green Lanterns are walking into, it seems to be William Macon. Macon is said to be a modern-day cowboy, which fits the setting of the show. He's also been described as someone who's extremely self-righteous and conspiracy-minded, who looks charming and calculated, but is actually ruthlessly ambitious. Macon might not be the villain of the show, the one that the Lanterns want to take down in the end, but he doesn't seem to be on the side of the good guys either. This assumption is backed up by the fact that he's played by Garrett Dillahunt, someone who often plays unlikable characters. You can catch his wonderful acting in Deadwood, 12 Years a Slave, and Fear the Walking Dead. Small-town antagonists are usually characterized by having a lot of yes-men and pull in their community. We're gonna have to wait until Lanterns releases to find out if Macon is going to be such a character. Billy Macon. With every man who's built a great reputation, there's always someone riding the coattails. For William Macon, it's his son Billy who never loses the opportunity to capitalize on his father's reputation. You know, the Draco Malfoy kind of character who goes around saying, "My father will hear about this." He's inherited his father's charms and good looks and carries out his dad's bidding. Macon has a small-town ego, though, and apparently everything to lose. The latter is suspicious to say the least. Why would he have everything to lose if he's a good guy? Billy is also married to Sheriff Carrie, so Billy's connection to both Carrie and William makes him useful dramatically because he sits right between the town's law and order side and its darker local power structure. Whether he's guilty, trapped, loyal, or hiding something is exactly the kind of mystery the show seems built to exploit. Billy will be played by Jason Ritter, whose credits include Freddy vs. Jason, Gravity Falls, Carrie Pilby, Frozen 2, and Parenthood. Zoe. We've speculated a lot about Hal Jordan's possible emotional connection in the show, but now let's talk about one of the internet's most discussed mystery characters connected to Jon Stewart's side of the story. That character is Zoe, played by Poorna Jagannathan, who you might recognize as Nalini Vishwakumar from Never Have I Ever. She's another character created just for the show, exactly like the Macons and Carrie, so we don't have much info on her as of yet. The creators have described her as a woman with enough composure and cunning to rival those of the influential men around her. If you indulge us some speculation, we would say Zoe may either become an ally, a manipulator, or someone who knows more about the town than she lets on. This might end up putting Zoe into the line of fire and inadvertently forcing Stewart to risk everything to try to save her. I mean, that's a classic superhero arc, right? Bernadette Stewart. Parents and guardians of superheroes play a huge role in molding them. I mean, what would Spider-Man be without Uncle Ben's famous monologue about responsibility? What would Superman be without the morals and love instilled into him by the Kents? Whether the parents are alive, or whether they're immoral or righteous, plays an important role in the path a superhero takes. To give us insight into that, we get Bernadette Stewart, John's mom. We might get to see a new version of his mother, as in the comics, John's mother is named Shirley Stewart. Shirley was a formidable woman who suffered from dementia. While we're unsure if Bernadette is going to suffer a similar fate, because the show has cast both younger and older versions of John's parents, it strongly suggests that flashbacks will help explain the emotional architecture of John Stewart's life. Nicole Ari Parker, who was in the incredibly true adventure of Two Girls in Love and Boogie Nights, will be playing an older version of the character, while Jasmine Cephas-Jones, who you might recognize from Hamilton and Blindspotting, will play the younger version of the character. John Stewart Sr. As is evident from the name, John Stewart Sr. is John Stewart's dad. This is another name change though, as in the comics, John's father is named Henry Stewart. John Sr. has been described as an incredibly stubborn man who likes to live in the past, thinking, ruminating, and brooding about what-ifs and what could-have-beens. Admittedly, we're guessing based on this description, but we would say that they have a difficult father-son relationship, with John Sr. stubbornly refusing to see his son's point of view. The older version of the character will be played by Sherman Augustus, and the younger by J. Alphonse Nicholson. Since both John Stewart Sr. and Bernadette Stewart have younger and older versions cast, it's safe to speculate that some flashbacks will be shown in the series, which means John's family will play a greater role in the plot than we originally expected. It sounds like we're going to get to see some of John's childhood and what made him the man he is today. Sinestro. Finally, we've got a confirmed villain. A classic Green Lantern bad guy, Sinestro was created in 1961 by Gil Kane and John Broome for Green Lantern number 7. In the comics, Thal Sinestro, which is his full name, is from the planet of Corrigar. He used to be a Green Lantern Corps member until he was dishonorably discharged for abusing his powers. Sinestro would become Green Lantern's most iconic foe, especially after he founded the Sinestro Corps and led them against his former allies. The comics show him as a mentor for Hal Jordan, adding a personal twist to their hostilities. We're uncertain how much this Sinestro will resemble his comic counterpart, but you can bet that he's going to be a menace regardless. If we had just one wish for Lanterns, it would be to see Sinestro in all of his yellow glory, wearing his iconic yellow ring. Whether the show gets deep into the Sinestro Corps mythology is currently unknown, so for now, the safe angle is that Sinestro's presence proves Lanterns won't stay purely small town forever. Ulrich Thompson was cast to bring the dreadful villain to life. Anton. If you think you've heard about all the interesting characters this show has to offer, let me tell you about Anton, a character created just for the show. This guy's an alien who wants to expose the truth and take revenge on those who dared to wrong his people with his personal brand of justice. Played by Paul Ben Victor, Anton adds a cosmic twist to a story that's mostly grounded, which pushes us to ask, how grounded is this series really going to be? We've already got 3 cosmic defenders, 1 ex-cosmic defender, and an alien. Surely this will involve some matters that stretch past the boundaries of Earth. From what's been told to us so far, we can't safely call Anton a good guy yet. His description sounds like he's more like an alien truth seeker with a vengeance streak, which could make him an ally, an antagonist, or both. Anton's involvement complicates the small-town murder mystery vibes the show's been promoting, as there is much more at play here. I wish we could tell you what that is, though. If you allow me to put on my tinfoil hat for a second, this kinda seems like a bit of a bait and switch. Maybe it starts off as a simple detective show before evolving into a high-stakes cosmic war in the later episodes. What do you think? Sound off in the comments down below. Noah. Noah is described as a charming, polite, and gifted small-town child, which makes him sound emotionally important even if his exact role is still under wraps. He can master anything easily and finds his happiness in football. Played by Carrie Christopher from Weapons and Days of Our Lives, Noah seems to be an emotionally important character. There's a whole range of things Noah could be connected to. He might be one of the Macons, reminding them of their morality and innocence, or he could be tied to the victim, or he could be someone from John or Hal's pasts. It's too soon to tell. Waylon Sanders. Another confirmed guest role is Waylon Sanders, played by Chris Coy. His real name is apparently being kept mysterious, but he's been described as a nervous truck driver and an intelligent survivor. That description instantly makes him sound like the kind of small-town witness who either saw something he wasn't supposed to, or survived something impossible, or maybe he knows more about the central murder than he wants to admit. Since Lanterns is being sold as a detective story, Waylon could be one of those grounded characters who helps connect the comic mystery to the ordinary people living inside the town. He may not be a superhero, a lantern, or a comic book icon, but in a murder mystery, the nervous survivor is often the person holding the key to the whole case. Laura Linney. There are still some roles that are being kept under wraps, which could mean that there are pivotal roles that could spoil certain twists in Lanterns. One such mystery role is being played by Broadway and movie actress Laura Linney, who has 4 Primetime Emmys and 2 Golden Globe Awards to her name. Linney previously worked with Mundy on Ozark, which perhaps influenced Mundy to cast her in Lanterns. We're officially entering the speculation zone here, so take everything we say about this character with a grain of salt. Because Linney's role is currently undisclosed, fans are throwing around names like Carol Ferris or even Dinah Lance. Of course, none of that has been confirmed. Carol Ferris, created by Gil Kane and John Broome, first appeared in Showcase number 22 in 1959. She's the head of Ferris Aircraft and Hal Jordan's longtime love interest, who later becomes the superhero Star Sapphire in the comics. Dinah Lance, meanwhile, is a character created by Robert Kanigher and Carmine Infantino. Dinah Lance was a part of the Justice Society of America and the Justice League as Black Canary and was chosen to be Hal Jordan's replacement in the alternate timeline of Deceased. She took over his role as Green Lantern and took on the name Green Canary. Honestly, we don't care what role Laura Linney plays, as she's a wonderful actress who will bring a stellar performance regardless of what character she ends up performing. Paula Patton. Another actress with an undisclosed role is Paula Patton, who was in Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol, Hitch, and Deja Vu. Some people think she's going to be Carol Ferris, as Chandler looks younger than his age, and they would make a good pair. Patton even looks more like Carol than Laura Linney does, so this isn't a wild take at all. If Patton does take on the role of Ferris, Linney will likely be Dinah Lance. Some fans have also speculated about Fatality, also known as Yira Sinril, but that remains pure rumor until DC or HBO confirms it. Fatality was created by Ron Mars for Green Lantern Volume 3, number 83 in 1997, and she was a part of the Sinestro Corps. Since Sinestro has been confirmed in the show, expecting Fatality isn't out of the question. These are just theories though, so feel free to take them or leave them. Fourth Lantern. Now, this one's pure fan theory. Since we've already gotten 3 Green Lanterns, Guy Gardner, John Stewart, and Hal Jordan, fans are expecting another Green Lantern to be teased in the show, either by cameo or with a name drop. There are a lot of Green Lanterns in the comics, so it's hard to pick which one. If assumptions about Linney's character are correct, Dinah could become the Fourth Lantern in a very specific adaptation direction. Other Lanterns in the running include Jessica Cruz, one of DC's most prominent modern female human Green Lanterns, Simon Baz, and even Alan Scott, the very first original Green Lantern with an entirely different origin. Plus, who knows, maybe we'll get one of the alien Green Lanterns with a character like Mogo the Living Planet, Chip the Squirrel, Tomar Ray, or even, fingers crossed, Kilowog. I mean, a man can dream, right? Besides, teasing a Fourth Lantern might even lead to movies in the DCU, but that's enough conjecture on our part. Now, we all know that Green Lantern hasn't exactly had the most successful stint in Hollywood, what with Ryan Reynolds' disastrous attempt at the character. This bad luck seems to be surrounding Lanterns as well, as there was a lot of backlash over the trailer. People have called out the creators for eliminating the green from the Green Lanterns and changing the color of Hal Jordan's iconic uniform. Damon Lindelof joked when asked about it that they had all agreed that green was stupid. Grant Morrison, the legendary comic writer, weighed in on the controversy, stating that Green Lanterns would be far more evocative and dramatic than Lanterns. He expressed disappointment that the right people weren't hired for the project and added that Hollywood would die from inbreeding and insularity. Lindelof apologized for his words shortly thereafter. The teaser's online availability, its re-upload, and the title controversy have all fueled fan debate, but there's no official confirmation that the backlash caused any trailer removal or that future footage will change the costumes or effects. So that's all the characters we're aware of that will appear in the Lantern show, which is surely going to be a huge setup for the cosmic side of the DCU. Which Lantern is your favorite, and who do you think is going to be the face of this new universe? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you like this video, be sure to leave us a thumbs up so we know to make more stuff like it. We'll be back soon with more awesome stuff, but until then, keep glowing green.